The original social network. In case it's not apparent, I'm not exactly a wallflower. I've flown in helicopters over the DMZ on the Korean Peninsula. I've flown into war zones, leaving the airport in blackened out vehicles escorted by guys with submachine guns. I've even survived being on television with Big Bird. But it wasn't always easy holding my own in what was very much a man's world early in my career. Early on, I was often the odd girl out, literally. I had to fend for myself many times in rooms full of career four-star generals, sitting, for example, at the U.S. Army War College discussing national security with men who've seen combat. I couldn't have done that without building the right relationships, giving it a name that's called networking. People listen to people they know. People take big chances on people they trust. You can't get there unless you've taken the time to know someone and let them get to know you. Taking the time, and more importantly, making the time to have coffee and eat with someone instead of eating alone. Make an introduction. Accept an introduction, even if you think it may not be worth your time. I had one of those moments in the basement of the White House, of all places. I'm working in the Office of Presidential Personnel at the White House in my early 20s, pretty much my dream job. But as dream jobs go, it was, of course, a ton of grunt work, like scheduling and taking care of VIPs. Exhausted, I found myself in a windowless room in the basement of the White House. My boss is 2 hours late to meet with Barbara Barrett as she interviewed to be Deputy Administrator of the FAA. It's my job to wait with her until my boss shows up. Not exactly someone I had much in common with at the time. The last thing I wanted to do was figure out how to entertain her until the meeting. But we talked for several hours. That unplanned conversation changed my life. Barbara, who would later become an ambassador and Secretary of the Air Force, and her husband Craig, who would later become the CEO of Intel, are the two most important mentors and contacts of my career. Yes, our time together was somewhat accidental, but think what I would have missed if I hadn't stepped up and turned stuck in the basement into an opportunity to get to know someone and have them get to know me. You never know when those moments are going to come, so you've got to take advantage of all of them, and most importantly, make them happen.